have these memories from my life. None of them have it.
Do you remember how you got here? You've lost your capacity to discern reality from fiction. What's real is here and now, 7:03 p.m. Anything else is just your mind playing tricks on you. It becomes a problem when fantasies endanger us. We don't want anyone to get hurt, do we?
This is the moment for you to show us what is real. Right now, you believe it's 6:37 p.m. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Could be. This is the first day of the rest of your life. But if you want it, you gotta fight for it.
Thomas? You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Hi.
Have we met?
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
While we were making the first Matrix, I felt like that it's something beyond yourself. Like, it's big.
Right! The experience of making the movies was such a transformative time in my life. It was such an opportunity of a lifetime.
I remember leaving the movie theater knowing that things were just going to be different in my life.
You can't quantify how much it changed the world.
Walked out of the theater and thought to myself, finally somebody gets me.
I watched it, went out, bought another ticket, and watched it again. Blew my mind, blew everybody else's mind.
So what do you need besides a miracle?
Guns. Lots of guns.
These massive sequences with cars flipping and explosions everywhere. Bullet time.
Slow motion, man. That's the most iconic thing that I remember. Neo dodging the bullets.
I never thought dodge this was going to be a big deal.
Dodge this.
I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
The ambition of its thought.
Try to realize the truth. There is no spoon.
I'm amazed at their point of view about reality and about the human brain.
It altered people's thoughts. What is real? What is reality?
Even in my own life, just looking around and being like, oh my God, we're in the Matrix. I would literally think that.
Mr. Anderson.
It's sort of impossible to articulate how it's seeped into our minds and culture. I can't even remember not having seen it. I can't remember my life before the world of the Matrix.
What do you know you can't explain, but you feel it?
Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is?
The Matrix as an idea has lasted 20 years. People use terminology like, are you going to take the red pill?
You're either going to take that blue pill or you're going to take the red.
Everything entered pop culture and stayed. We say a glitch in the Matrix, the fact that that's a part of the lexicon.
Oh, deja vu.
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
I think this is one of the few movies that has seeped its way into every kind of facet of popular culture.
I'll run into young people who've done college courses, all of the philosophies and ideas around the Matrix. It's this amazing, magical, mythological world that has been created using numbers and digits. But it's actually about consciousness. It's actually about thought.
Billions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious.
You'll hear the sentences, "The Matrix changed my life." So I just say, thank you, changed mine too.
Come in.
Looks like old code.
It feels really familiar.
Drop a pin. I'll signal for backup. Did you hear that? I think our signal was traced. Bugs, this feels like a trap.
I'm gonna check it out. See, come in.
Looks like old code.
It feels really familiar.
Drop a pin. I'll signal for backup. Did you hear that? I think our signal was traced. Bugs, this feels like a trap.
I'm gonna check it out.
My God, being part of cinematic history. Like I still remember seeing that opening sequence of Matrix and I'd never seen anything like that before. I'm like, this is going to be part of history. and to be a part of that franchise. I mean, like, where do I go from here? It was really, really incredible. And then another level of that is I got to collaborate with my husband. So he was part of the rigging design team. He was actually a key rigger on the San Francisco segment, and it was the 8711 action design team. So this is my family. So to be over in San Francisco and Berlin with my family was it just felt right. There's nothing about it that felt like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. It was like, shit, yeah, I deserve to be here. Like, this is my family. Like, I speak their language, they speak my language. Like, it just fit. Sometimes when you work on a production, the magic.
I have these memories from my life. None of them have it.
This could take the whole hour. Are you sure you want to ask this question?
Of course.
Yeah, it was concluded in my eyes as well, and Lily's eyes. We wrote it as a very elegant structure, which was dialectical in nature, and it was resonant with ideas of birth, life, death, and thesis, antithesis, synthesis, and these things which we wanted the story to be in a triptych for a reason. Like, many stories are just long and they split them up, but Matrix was designed from the beginning like a piece of music or a philosophical argument, and it had a really beautiful elegance to it, and we loved it, and we thought that was it. It was done, and you know, every year Warner Brothers would ask us to make another one, and every year they would drive truckloads of money up to our house and say, you could have this. And we said, no, 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 not interested, not interested, not interested. And it never was interesting to me as an idea of trying to continue it. And then something really hard happened, in which both of my parents got ill, or my dad first got ill, and my wife and I went home to take care of them, and we were really close to them, and also a good friend also died in this very short period, a friend of my wife's, and it was just this constant grief, and my dad died, then this friend died, then my mom died, and I didn't really know how to process that kind of grief. It was really, I hadn't experienced it really that close. My grandma was really hard, and then I knew my dad was getting sick, and I kind of, you know that their lives are going to end, and yet it was still like really hard. And then my brain has always reached into my imagination, and one night I was just crying and I couldn't sleep, and suddenly my brain just exploded this whole story. And I couldn't have my mom and dad, and I couldn't talk to my mom. And yet suddenly I had Neo and Trinity, arguably maybe the two most important characters in my life. And it was immediately comforting to have these two characters alive again. And it's super simple, and you can look at it and say, ah, yeah, okay, these two people die, and okay, bring these two people back to life, and oh, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, it did. And it's simple, and this is what art does, and this is what stories do, and they comfort us, and they're important. And I was very non-judgmental to myself. I was like, hey, I know intellectually, oh, so elegant, Matrix, so elegant, I love it. But it was so comforting, and they were back in my life, and then I asked Lily and if she wanted to do this, and she wanted to process her grief differently. And she was in art school, and she was on a different path, and she didn't want to go this way to process her grief. But, you know, the story evolved, and I told my wife the story, and she said, oh my God, you have to make it. And I was like, Matrix, can't go back there. And then I asked my friends, and my friends were really the sort of decision-making process that helped me say, okay, yeah, let's do this. Mm-hmm. And these people are really the reason we went back and did it again.
Yeah, it's Matrix Resurrections. So we have this in the title, what you just explained, and Neo and Trinity are dead in a way, and in the end, to say it that way. So in the trailer, we saw that they are there. And the question is maybe strange.
Did we?
I don't know how far you can go to answer this question, because it's always strange to say a word like real in the context of Matrix, of course.
Ganz genau.
So, but maybe you can describe a little bit the main idea, because time is changing a lot. We are living right now in a very different world than 70 or 20 years ago concerning all these things like fake news, faked reality. So maybe Matrix is an answer to that development?
You'll see in December.
Yeah.